the DB music universe. It is I again with your weekly video lesson. So we keep talking about a lot of these building techniques and working on some practice stuff over the last couple weeks because I said we're going to bring it down to some sort of basic-y stuff. And today is no different. You've probably all heard it before, reading in magazines, watching videos, going to your local store, and you hear, oh, all the tone comes from the hands. And you might sit there and go, how does the tone come from your hands when it's this thing here, plugged into a big old amplifier and whatever gear you have on the floor, and that's what's reproducing all that sound? Well, yes and no. There is certainly tone that comes from your instruments, and it totally does come from, say, the quality of your instrument. But one thing to think about is the better your gear is, it's also going to show your mistakes even more. But if you want to look at it on the positive side, it's going to allow you to bring out sounds that maybe you weren't able to do with lower quality stuff. Things that aren't susceptible to what we're going to talk about today, which is your pick dynamics. So I could have done this on the acoustic guitar to talk about pick dynamics, but I thought it would be kind of fun to do on the electric because it's something I really try to pay a lot of attention to, and hopefully you'll see it and understand that. So dynamics are just that. It's our volume control, how we can go from loud to soft. And I think people tend to forget about that when they're playing an electric guitar because they just turn their volume up and go. But when you start playing with things like tube amplifiers, so like my Maz 18, or when you start getting into things that are emulating, so for instance today I have my Line 6 Helix going into the power amp on my Maz, which seems like sacrilege, but I use a lot of different amp sounds. And so when I need to use all those, this is the best setup for me. And then when I want to just have a good raw, boutique-y analog sound, then I'll go straight into the front end of the Maz. But for today's purpose, I've got a couple things done up. I have a clean amplifier, actually, running on the Helix. It's the Archetype, which is based off a PRS amp. And then I'm using the compulsive drive, which if you think about it long and hard, you can see how that's based off the OCD overdrive pedal. And what we're going to do is sort of show you the difference between picking loud and picking soft and how that works with tube dynamics and good overdrives and distortions. So I have my volume on full with it on the neck humbucker pickup, which means it's going to be the hottest of all of my pickups on this guitar and the fattest. So if I want that like kind of big fat sound, it might want it for that ZZ Top thing. Which right on the top brings us right to pick dynamics. So I didn't change my volumes, I didn't change my pickup, but what you notice is when I started it, it's actually almost like a fat, clean sound versus a heavy distortion. But then I want to lean into it. Now all of a sudden I've got that much more gain to deal with. Another example is like in the start, you hear me kind of play. And again, you can see me trying to play with that dynamic when I've got loud, a little bit quieter. So that's my ability to control how hard or soft I'm attacking the strings, and the way you are going to try and practice it is simply like this. You're going to turn your volume up all the way, You can use a little distortion so you have that kind of fun aspect of digging in and laying off. And what I want you to do is take your pick, set up on the string, and start what you think is your normal picking. So might be like this. Alright, and then what I want you to do is I want you to go as quiet as possible. So start in your normal. And then get quiet. And then from quiet, I want you to build it back up to normal slowly. And then from normal, get loud. And back down to normal. And then down to quiet. Back to normal. Back up to loud. Back to normal. Once you've done that a little bit, you can use it on different strings. You'll hear your gain amount change. You'll hear your volume change. Once you've done that, what I want you to do is now, instead of working up and down, I want you to be able to pick out soft, medium, or normal, and loud. So, medium. Instantly go soft. Instantly go loud. Soft. Loud. Soft. Loud, soft, loud, soft, loud, soft, normal. What you're doing is something maybe you haven't done before, which is teaching your hand to figure out what playing hard is, what playing soft is. So that when you're doing, you know, all that really cool Jimi Hendrix stuff where he's got that push and pull and how much gain he has, so whether it's a Wind Cries Mary, like a... or Hey Joe. Get that up and down. So again, recap, start medium, work down to quiet, back up to medium, up to loud, back to medium, and then quickly go back and forth. So medium, quiet, loud, quiet, loud, medium. So give that a shot. Learn a little bit about your pick dynamics. Learn what is normal, soft, and quiet for you. Maybe you're going to learn you have a new normal. And try playing around with a little bit of overdrive and distortion and get those, you know, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan type of riffs where you're controlling your volume and your gain from your hands, not from pedals and volume controls and all of that. So good luck with that one. Happy practicing, and hopefully we'll come up with something sort of similar next week in putting the two hands together and learning what soft and loud and quiet is and normal. So good luck. See you next week.